Third POV. After the manly fight between Hagar and Zangief, Hatsumi pressed the button and played the next video. The TMNT Battle Royal. TMNT. Katsuna asked. Wonder what that stands for. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2012 theme song. A catchy theme song started playing with a screen showing a look of space with a shine of 1 star before rushing down towards a New York City sewer grate smoking out green smoke. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It showed a humanoid rat man, with bandages in his arms and a crimson-red GI, setting 4 regular turtles onto a puddle of mysterious green and blue ooze. Heroes in a half-shell. Turtle power. The turtles then flowed bright and became larger and more humanoid. Here we go. It's the lean green ninja team. The video followed with the 4 kid turtles kneeling before Rat Man. The Rat Man gave one of them a red bandana, and the scene changed to see the 4 turtles, each with their own colored bandana with blank white eyes looking at the screen looking cool. On the scene, cool teens doing ninja things. The one in blue was shown, in a blue background, wielding a katana and showing off his skills by jumping and perform some slashes. So extreme out the sewer like laser beams. The screens changed to the yellow bandana turtle, showing off his skills with a nunchuck. Get rocked with the shell-shocked Pizza Kings. The screen shifted to see the purple turtle showing his skills with the bow staff. Can't stop these radical dudes. The final turtle, the red bandana one, showing of his twin Sai and yelling out. The secret of the ooze made the chosen few emerge from the shadows to make their moves. The screen then showed quick scroll of an army of black ninjas, bearing a banner with a black foot on it, led by a large humanoid fishman with robotic legs, a large humanoid dogman with spikes on him, and a man in silver and black armor with blades all over his body slashing at the screen. The group shivers slightly at the sight of the bladed man, wondering if they will see him in other video. The good guys win and the bad guys lose. They did see the turtles driving around a modified-looking dump truck with a yellow ninja turtle firing a cannon made of trash. May and Power Loader impressed with how they modified it. They then see the blue ninja turtle hanging on the of the truck, who had a serious face, and then see him kicking a punching bag. Leonardo's the leader in blue. Does anything it takes to get his ninjas through. The purple ninja was shown fixing the truck with goggles and bucktooth. Donatello is a fellow, has a way with machines. The next ninja shown was the red ninja turtle playing an arcade game with an unmutated turtle on his shoulder, and punched the machine when he got mad. Raphael has the most attitude on the team. The final ninja turtle shown was the yellow on riding around on a skateboard. Michelangelo, he's one of a kind. And you know just where to find him when it's party time. A girl was shown reading a magazine on a tire swing with the Rat Man in the red GI nearby. Master Splinter taught them every single skill they need to be. It showed the turtles assembled looking badass with their weapons, then posing with Mickey having rabbit ears behind Raph. One lean, mean, green, incredible team. A few images were shown of them fighting ninjas and weird-looking robots. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Heroes in a half-shell. Turtle power. That song was kinda catchy, Jairu admitted. They looked so cool. Setsuna said, more interested as she was a fan of reptiles, even mutated ones. Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, Raphael. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were grown from ooze and raised by a warrior rat in the sewers of New York to be the world's most fearsome fighting team. Wiz says, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Uraraka said, so that's what TMNT stands for. That sounds lame. Bakugu complained. Who would ever give a shit about turtle ninjas that are teenagers? Most likely everyone. Izuku said. I'm probably guessing from what we saw that they don't have quirks there. And back then in pre-quirk society. And even now, people are always afraid of what they don't understand. Probably why the song said, emerge from the shadows. Okoyami said. Wait a minute. Momo said. Their names. I think they were named based on Renaissance artists and sculptors. Really? Uraraka asked. Yes, now I think about it. You're right as ever, Yairozzo, Ida said. Leonardo da Vinci was a Renaissance artist who was famous for painting the Mona Lisa and the Last Supper. Michelangelo di Lodovico Buonarroti Simoni was also a Renaissance sculptor artist. Momo said. I remember him mostly from his works on the painting, The Creation of Adam, and the statue of David. Ibarra continued with, Raphael Sanzio de Urbino was another Renaissance painter. He painted the Transfiguration and the School of Athens. Donatello, however, I don't remember. He was a famous sculptor who was best known for making the statue of St. George, St. Mark, and the equestrian statue of Gatamelata. Izuku informed. Wow, Izuku, Nijire said. How do you know that? Izuku shyly said. My mother and I once went on a trip to Italy when I was younger. We visited those statues and I looked them up so that I could impress her and make her happy. The girls cooed and awed at Izuku at that, while the guys were both impressed and jealous once again at the girls' attention. Lots of superheroes have some weird origin stories, but this one is just plain ridiculous, Boomstick said. Agreed, Doji said. It's quite a stretch. Not to mention having their sensei as a humanoid rat. Ojiro added. I still find them cool, Izuku said. They look nice, Mori said. I like to watch more of them. Izuku and Mirio smiled at that. Their greatest advantage in battle is their family bond and teamwork. But on their own, which turtle is deadliest? Wiz asked. An admirable quality and strength that these brothers share, All Might said. Kind of sad that we now to watch them duke it out to the death, Mandalay said. I have to admit, Wiz, I love death battle and all. But isn't this a step too far? Boomstick questioned. Killing family isn't exactly something that I'm okay with. And that's saying something. Case in point, Mandalay said. Agreed. But we chose our grave when we decided on this in the meeting, Boomstick. We just have to push through, Wiz said. Alright. Well, he's Wiz and I'm Boomstick. Boomstick once again introduced himself and his co-host. And it's our jobs to analyze their weapons, armor and skills to find who would win a death battle, Wizard said once again. The first turtle shown was the blue one with the katanas named Leonardo. He looked serious and deadly, and seemed to be the leader of this group of ninja turtles. Leonardo. Background. Height, 5 feet 4 inches. Weight, 180 pounds. Master of ninjutsu, bushido, and swordsmanship. Skilled in using environment. Favorite color, blue. Leonardo, the leader of the team, is smart, strategic with a strong sense of honor, was said. The group of watchers were starting like the turtle from get-go. The heroes respected his honor and his strategic mind. With All Might, Nizu, and Endeavor respected him more for his responsibility as a leader. The students, mostly Momo, Izuku, and Ida, liked him for being smart and strategic and honorable, qualities a great hero should have. Too bad he traded his sense for humor for that sense of honor. This guy always means serious business, Boomstick said. It is an honorable sacrifice to become a more dependable and efficient leader and hero, Ida said. Spoken like someone who has made that sacrifice, right, Ida? Uraraka said. Laughs occurred from Uraraka's unintentional diss. Ninjaken swords. 2 feet long blade. Designed for swift, deadly offensive strikes. Also called ninjato. Commonly referred to katana. Invented by Hollywood. His weapon of choice is the Ninjaken swords. Shorter, sturdier and straighter than an ordinary katana, and designed for swift, deadly strikes. Out of all the turtle's weapons, the Ninjaken is the only one specifically designed to murder people. And what's better than one Ninjaken? 2, damn it, Boomstick said. While they were iffy on the whole murder part, they did admit that the swords looked cool and deadly. Are you serious? Aboard Bakuga said. They don't look all that deadly or different than a regular katana. I disagree, Todoroki said. As it is said there, it's shorter and sturdier. Yeah, Bakugo asked challengingly. And how would you know that? Me, Midoriya, and Ida has to dodge and survive from Stain's katanas. Todoroki said grimly. That shut Fukugo up, as well as the mood in the room. The students looked at the three mentioned individuals, remembering how they heard they survived an encounter from the hero killer. Endeavor and Gran Torino grew tense at the mention of the hero killer, his dark, murderous aura flashing in their minds. Endeavor especially sweated as he remembered and knew what exactly happened, and who really took down the hero killer. He was unaware of questioning gaze from Aizawa on him, suspicious of Endeavor's demeanor. The scene changed to show the intimidating man from the theme song, the man covered in blades. He looked like a tall, armored ninja with a three-pronged horn metal samurai helmet, and shoulders and limbs covered in sharp blades. Named Orokusaki at birth, this man was the young brother of Orokunagi who was killed by fellow ninja Hamato Yoshi, the owner of the Turtles' rat mentor, in a feud over a woman named Tang Shen, resulting in Yoshi fleeing with Shen to the United States. Wiz explained. Why the hell would they do that all for a chick? Bakuga said. Love is one to the strongest strengths one can wield against their foes, but it is also one a great weakness, Hokoyami sagely said. Pissed at the death of his older brother, Saki joined the Foot Clan and trained to be a ninja. He quickly became one of their deadliest warriors and rose up the ranks and was chosen to lead the Foot's American branch. He became the Shredder, and Saki avenged his brother by killing Yoshi and Shen. Talk about long-term goals. Under the leadership of Saki, the Foot took part in drug smuggling, arms running and assassination. Boomstick explained. So he became just another petty crook and criminal, Fat Gum said, having experienced taking down his fair share of drug traffickers and arms-selling thugs. All that skills and power and he wastes it by being a criminal. Disappointing, Eraserhead said. He too knowing his fair share of those kinds of criminals as an underground hero. Wait, Jiro said. Did he name himself after a cheese grater? Shredder was presented as extremely cunning and was described by Splinter as the most dangerous adversary they ever faced. Shredder's intelligence persevered throughout his various portrayals, and it is claimed that Shredder has an IQ of 300. Impressive, Mizu said. Even though my IQ still skyrockets that, it is still in respectable level for a human. That kind of IQ is almost twice as much as the world's greatest minds. Momo said stunned. In many timelines, Leonardo's the one who ultimately defeats the Shredder, though always with plenty of help, Wiz revealed. So, they also have multiple different versions of themselves in the multiverse. Shinso asked. Seems like it, Izuku said. Though for Leonardo to defeat someone like that is amazing. Gilset, expert strategist, swordmaster, strong both physically and mentally. Serious devotion to training and family. Bushido Code. As leader, he's is the strategic mind of the group. He does his best to achieve the best possible outcome of the current situation, Wizard explained. He spends most of his time training his body and mind under Master Splinter's instructions and follows Bushido, a strict samurai code with honor and duty. Bushido, Kominari said. Can the Nerd Brigade help me out here? It is a samurai code that means, the way do the warrior. It is mainly about living life with honor and duty. Both Izuku and Momo said, the two blushing profusely afterwards. Heh, I asked the Nerd Brigade to help me out, but I guess Nerd Couple Duo works too. Kominari teased. Following results led to Izuku and Momo blushing red and with steam comically flowing out of their ears, with the two muttering and stumbling telling Kominari that it wasn't like that at the same time again, which only made it worse. It also had side effects, including dark blank looks of jealousy from the girls, Mineta wailing in jealousy, Ida confused and waving his hands robotically, the male heroes, especially All Might, Nizu and Aizawa, smiling teasingly at the sight, the female heroine's eyes flinching and twitching slightly for some reason, Gran Torino laughing his ass off and Nijire, with a blank look of dark jealousy herself, almost choking the life of Kominari. At one point, he even fought and killed a sort of physical embodiment of the devil, Boomstick said. That led to Ibarra sending praises and thank yous to Leonardo. One of Leonardo's most prominent qualities is his determination to believe in the good and the best in people, even potential enemies. Wiz says. Izuku smiled at that. He himself following that principle as well. Pacifism is just a bullshit excuse for weaklings to not do what needs to be done, Bakugo typically said. It just gives the villains more time and opportunity to get away or kill others. Izuku, for once, tightened his hands in a fist and gained a serious and slightly angry look on his face. All Might, likewise disturbed by Bakugo's saying, began to say, "Young Bakugo dash." He was cut off by Izuku saying, "While what you say has truth to it, Kaken, you aren't fully right either. If all you do is attack and beat down people without giving them the chance to do the right thing or explain his side of the story, then you are no better than a villain. Taking away one's chance of redemption is wrong, and giving someone the chance to make things right could make the villains give up and rethink their ways and set an example for both heroes and deter others from villainy." The group was stunned at Izuku's words, mouths agape at hearing such serious and angry tone in the green cinnamon roll. The girls smiled at Deku and his courageous and kind heart, hearts circling around Izuku in their eyes. The heroes smiled at Izuku's words, agreeing with Kid and actually inspired to do the same. All Might smiled proudly at his successor, along with Nizu, Erasehead, Recovery Girl, and Gran Torino. Endeavor gained an inquisitive look on his face, thinking back somewhat with guilt, and wondered if any of the many criminals and villains could have been given that chance and he never gave it to them. Bakugo just glared back at Izuku, not bothering to say anything back, part by shock and rage at Izuku's boldness to speak out against him and call him a villain, and part because he didn't know what to say back to Izuku's sound point. However, Leonardo finds it difficult to accept failure. Wiz explained. Should things go horribly wrong, his concentration can quickly slip away from him, leaving him sloppy and imprecise. aka Leo doesn't like to lose, Boomstick said. Sounds like something you two share, young Midoriya and Bakugo. All Might said, Izuku nodding humbly and Bakugo huffing and looking away. All Might smiled regardless, his comment quickly breaking away the thick tension. "Quit clowning, you guys. This is serious," they hear Leo say. The next competitor was the purple ninja turtle, Donatello. He was skinnier and taller than the rest of the turtles, wielded a bow staff, and appeared more nerdy the rest by his buck tooth and goggles. Donatello. Background. Height, 5 feet 4 inches. Weight, 175 pounds. Master of ninjutsu and bujitsu. Brains and technician. Favorite color, purple. Named after the Italian sculptor, Donatello is depicted as the smartest and second in command of the 4 turtles, Wiz explains. He does machines, Boomstick said. Cue resulting chuckles. Right, Boomstick. Master technician and programmer. Don has a genius-level intellect with a rumored IQ of 637. He even earned a degree via mail, Wiz said. Holy, Mina said astounded. That's twice more than Shredder's IQ. He also does machines, May said. So he must been the one to make that dump truck tank. I would love to bring him here to teach me. Don't get any ideas, Hatsumi-ai. Power Loader warned. The resulting intermix multipolar flux should create an electromagnetic pulse. Don mumbles out. The jabber of technology stuff made all the students, even Momo, and some pro-heroes scratching their heads at what he was saying. Kaminari was so lost his brain started sparking. What the hell did I just hear? All that gibberish probably means he trains less than the others, ruining more of his time for science, Boomstick said. Donatello shows greater interest in technology than his ninjutsu training, was mentioned. That seems like it will be a detriment, especially in something called Death Battle, Jiro said. In fact, he almost died more times than you would think. Wiz continues. I rest my case, Jiro said. He became a cyborg after his body was partially destroyed from being dropped out of a helicopter. Boomstick continued. His brain was drained out of mutagen, and his consciousness separated from his body. Sounds like one of my Saturday nights. Rocksteady, a mutated rhino, smashed Donatello's shell, nearly killing him. Wiz said. Jesus. Yuka said. I know they said he has nearly died a lot of times, but holy crap, that seems excessive. That's the dangers of being a hero, Eraserhead warned. Sometimes there isn't a way out, and even if you have the most training, there can be a time where that training will not help and leave you vulnerable and likely to die. Which is why we constantly improve ourselves, adapt, and go beyond our limits. Plus ultra style. Plus ultra. The students yelled out. Bow staff. 6 feet long bow. Durable. Longest reach of all the team's weaponry. Rocksteady's worst nightmare. Let's talk about his weapon. He uses a bow staff that makes up for his constant lack of training. Durable oak and 6 feet long. The bow gives Donatello far more attack range than his other brothers. Wizard said. Smart kid, or rather smart mutated ninja. Turtle kid to make up for his weaknesses. Midnight said. The range is nice, but it takes a lot of time and patience to kill anyone with a stick. Boomstick said. Yeah. Bakuga said. How is a stick going to be useful? Give him something deadlier. You do remember that as heroes in training we are supposed to prevent deaths, not cause them, right Bakuga? Momo sarcastically asked. Shut it, Ponytail, he shouted back. That's why he modified his staff to convert to a naginata, a Japanese halberd. Wiz explained. Ha! Bakuga cheered triumphantly. See that rich girl, that's how it's done. Though I think that is used many for more durable foes like those robots from the theme song, or maybe to use it to cling onto a wall of falling. Izuku analyzed. Momo and Bakuga heard that. With Momo was smirking victoriously whilst Bakuga steamed in rage. Gil said. Level-headed. Bojutsu master. Master technician and programmer. Rumored IQ of 637. Fluent in technobabble. He's no expert strategist, that's Leonardo's turf. But Donatello is considered the most level-headed of the turtles. Wiz explains. Even with his time spent tinkering, he's still a very capable warrior, easily keeping up with his brothers and even killing the Shredder in an alternate future where the team fell apart after he vanished. Nice to see that Donnie there is getting some love there. Satsuna said. I'm making this up as I go. Donatello said. The third combatant was the shortest and youngest looking of the Ninja Turtles. He wore orange, wielded nunchucks, and went by the name of Michelangelo. Michelangelo. Background. Height, 5 feet 2 inches. Weight, 170 pounds. Master of ninjutsu, nunchakus, orikigosari, and whirling pizzas. Party dude. Favorite color, orange. Named after the Renaissance artist Michelangelo of the Turtles, Mike was initially depicted as fun-loving, carefree, and while not as aggressive as his other brothers, always ready to fight, Wiz explains. He typically spent time joking and socializing with others. Mike has a fondness for pizza, even beyond that of the other turtles, just like me and beer. Boomstick stated. I would definitely like to party with this guy, Kaminari said. Seems like my best friend made from heaven. I thought I was your best friend. Mineta screeched. You are dude, but he seems less like a perverted, desperate grape head. Kaminari said honestly. Employing a surfer slang vocabulary, he customarily spoke with a unique hybrid of a Californian surfer accent and what may have been a stereotypical stoner accent. It is likely just emphasizing his laid-back and somewhat innocent attitude. Michelangelo's trademark phrase in this is the famous cowabunga. Wiz explains. He was often seen as a party dude. Boomstick added. I feel like that maybe his laid-back attitude might hinder him in the fight, Ida said. Though this accounts for only part of his personality as people look over his playfulness, empathy, and easygoing nature during a battle. He was temporarily blinded and later captured by the US military, whereupon he was interrogated and tortured. He was eventually rescued by his family and saved the life of the man who tortured him. Wiz explained. Wow, Suka said. That was dark but also rather admirable of him. Mike even adopted a stray cat, which he names Clunk, And he also stopped thieves from stealing toys meant for orphan children, Boomstick said. The girls awed at the acts of kindness that Mikey displayed, with Mineta falling further into an abyss of desperate depression at seeing how an anthropomorphic mutant turtle was more popular with the girls than him. Now let's get to his weapons, Wiz said, getting the attention of the students. Nunchucks, also called nunchakus, consisting of 2 sticks connected at one end by a short chain or rope. Used in Okinawan Kabuto and karate. Used as a training weapon. Variation of the 2-section staff. Farming tool. Good for strangling. Obviously, Mikey strangles enemies off-screen. He usually dual-wields nunchucks, but he has also been portrayed using other weapons, such as a grappling hook, manriki gusari, tonfa, and a 3-section staff. Still, the nunchucks don't seem like much of a weapon, Boomstick said. Nunchucks were actually farming tools back in ancient Japan, Ida informed. Wait, so why did people start using a farming tool as a weapon? Kaminari said. Plus, how is a nunchuck a farming tool? Back then, samurai swords were expensive, and those who could afford them had to wait a long while for them to get made, Momo said. So they had to use whatever had as a weapon, and it caught on from there. Plus, the nunchuck was used mainly to beat down rice and wheat, and used as an alarm with a piece of wood for village night people in case a fire or attack in the village occurred. Izuku added. Anyways, even though he seems to be the most versatile of the turtles, none of those weapons seem rather deadly, Kamakiri stated. Luckily, Mikey's nunchucks have been modified to turn into a kuzurigama for more lethality, much like Donnie's staff, was explained. I feel like we pretty much have a repeat of earlier with Bakugu and Donatello's staff, Hur said. Makes sense, since those two seem to be like carbon copies when it comes to egos and rage, Hyuka said. Shut up, ears. Both Kamakiri and Bakugu said at once, making the two falter and huff embarrassed and laughter from the rest. Mikey is regarded as being the most athletic of the 4, and possessing the single greatest potential on martial arts out of the 4 turtles, although unfocused on training mentally, which prevents him from reaching his fullest potential. He has certainly proven he is an effective fighter when need be. I'm starting to like him already, Mina said. Obviously, you both are athletic and laid back and have concentration issues, Shui said bluntly. Sue, Mina mocked cried. You are so mean. But true, Sue said undeterred. Ho ho, someone's cranky, Mikey said. The final fighter was the red turtle who wielded twin sai. Looked more vicious than the others. I feel like I just figured out whose counterpart is for him, Tokoyami said, directing his gaze onto a certain ash blonde douche. Raphael. Background. Height 5 feet 8 inches. Weight 190 pounds. Master of ninjutsu and seiyus. Hot-tempered brawn. Favorite color red. Named after the 16th century Italian painter Raphael Dash. Was started before Boomstick interrupted him. Raph is cool but crude. Hell, forget crude, this guy's borderline psycho, he said. Practically the entire group, including the teachers and heroes who know him, starting staring at Bakugu, with Explosion Quirk Kid being obvious to the stares. Sure to throw the first punch, Raphael is currently the most vicious of the team, was said. He even almost smashed Mikey's head in with a pipe after Mikey beat him in a sparring match. Boomstick said. I'm staring to like this guy, Bakugu said. The students and teachers tried incredibly hard not to snicker, laugh, or make a retort on that. Izuku was certainly trying, with uncomfortable memories of Bakuga's past temper tantrums over losing or being insulted helping him out. I stand corrected, Raph is the most violent turtle and has a tendency for going berserk either in battle or when his temper flares up. He is generally the most likely to experience extremes of rage and anger, and he is usually depicted as being aggressive, sullen, maddened and rebellious. When he isn't angry, which is somewhat rare, he is more sociable. Wiz explains. Gee, I wonder who that reminds me of. Kaminari asked sarcastically while doing his best to not look at Lord Explosion Murder. That temper, I feel, will likely be a hindrance towards his fight, Snipe said. Indeed, a smart enough opponent can capitalize on it and manipulate him into falling into a trap. Ectoplasm said. All Might coughed up a bit of blood, almost looking at Bakugo in the eye by accident, much to the suspicion of the ash blonde team. This guy is in some need of serious anger management. The reason behind why he is so angry all the time is not always fully explored, Boomstick said. Unbeknownst to the characters, a certain fourth wall-breaking author is currently having a coughing fit and looking at the ash blonde douche that he wished he could write into a fiery pit of hell. JK. He is naturally hot-headed and sometimes loses control of his rage. He is much more vicious than the other turtles and at one point in the comics, even became the Shredder himself. Wiz said, much to everyone's shock. He became what? Izuku crier hour in horror. Why, how, what? Momo asked stunned. You either die a hero, or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Okoyami said grimly. If that were true, wouldn't All Might have snapped and tried to murder all of us? Todoroki said grimly. He did seem rather villainous during Deku's and Bakuga's final exam. Uraraka pointed out nervously. I still am quite furious at what you did to those boys, All Might. Recovery Girl yelled at the former symbol of peace, while hitting his head with her cane. You even nearly broke Midoriya's back entirely beyond repair. All Might would have retorted back an apology but get a shiver go up his spine. He nervously looked towards the origin of those glares and found them being from most of the entire female population in the room, with glares that if could kill, would have made him turn into 1,000 disintegrated pieces. Raph is cynical and witty with a sarcastic sense of humor, and he is not particularly fond of the supernatural, Wiz said. Hey Bakugo, are you afraid of ghosts? Zero asked teasingly. What? Bakugo yelled out. Of course not. I'm not afraid of anything. Why did you even point that out? He felt a tap of his shoulder for him to turn his head to find a stereotype blanket with Eye-Hole's ghost beside him that shouted, Boo! Aya Aya Waha! Bakugo yelled out like a little girl and unleashed a powerful explosion in attempts to destroy his greatest fear. The results led to Oyama being saved by Deku from certain point-blank destruction, Mineta looking like burnt toast, and laughter from 99% of the room at the sight of Big Bad Bakugo scared off a puppet. Shut up you bastards and bitches! Bakugo yelled out, red as a tombstone from both rage and pure embarrassment. Who the hell did that? Momo, who created the puppet, Reiko, who controlled it, and Setsuna, whose mouth that was inside the puppet and yelled out boo, discreetly high-fived each other. I hate ghosts too, Wiz, Boomstick said. I'm pretty sure one of them is responsible for the moans I hear behind the walls in my apartment. Laughter ranged even more at Boomstick's comment and stupidity, with even Bakugo joining in, already forgetting about the prank. Eventually Raph met a vigilante named Casey Jones, his foil, who is more violent and unstable than he was. Despite their brutal first meeting, the two have since formed a close bond. Wiz says, Come on Wiz, after this we'll go to Vegas. Boomstick said to his co-host excitedly. After what happened last time, we may want to hold off on that for now. We are still not allowed in New Mexico, Wiz told Boomstick. More laughter and chuckles occurred, with many of the watching audience wondering why they were both banned from an entire state. Shame. Anyways, getting back to Raph, he is always butting heads with the other turtles and challenging Leo's leadership, Boomstick explained. Yet another hindrance and flaw that will become quite troublesome if not worked out, Eraserhead said, mentally reminding himself to set up some anger management classes for Bakugo. A dagger-like truncheon, used against swords, primarily defensive, traps and controls an opponent's weapons for stabbing, not slicing. He uses Twin Sai, which is like a combination of a pitchfork, dagger and Wolverine's claws. Boomstick explained. Who's Wolverine? Kamakiri asked. Maybe he is someone we will see in a later video, Izuku said. Like the nunchuck, they also humbly began as a farming tool but were re-evaluated to counter the oppressive samurai, Wiz explained. They're best used as a close-range defensive weapon. The triple prongs are designed to block, trap and control an opponent's weapon, while using the pommel to beat enemy into submission. Rafa's Sai can even snap swords. Sounds like they could be useful against Leonardo, Momo deduced. Plus that weapon suits his rather barbaric head-first fighting style. Ida added, waving his arm robotically. Skillset. Vicious and brutal. Say Mazer. Arguably the toughest of the team. Hot-headed with common fits of rage. Enjoys fighting. Raphael is not exactly the smartest fighter, usually rushing into a brawl without a plan and just overpowering a foe. Was said. Hey guys. Kaminari said. Who wants to make this next bet on who is whose counterpart? $1 million that Raphael is Bakugu. Hey. No fair. Mineta said. You'll bleed the rest of us dry of no money. Yeah, sorry kid, but no bets more than hundreds and especially not $1 million bets. Endeavor said. I prefer to not go bankrupt. Meanwhile, said bet on individual was once again muttering angrily at stupid, idiotic, correct bastards. Because of this, Raphael spends much of his time honing his combat skills. It is very likely he is the physically strongest turtle. Was said. All the more reason to be careful around him. Boomstick said, and most student mentally nodded not to anger Bakugo. It day. They hear Raph scream. Alright, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all. Was said. It's time for a death battle. Boomstick yelled. The video paused with the 4 fighters being scanned, while the counterpart bet was going on. In short summary, Momo's entire allowance, a humble $500,000 in yen, was bet on Bakugu as Raph and Izuku as Leo, the last one being more analytical and biased. Multiversal counterparts matched. Raphael. Multiversal counterpart. Katsuki Bakugu. The roses of cheers of triumph occurred, with some students growing richer, some heroes getting more richer, Eraserhead scamming thousands of yen from Mike, and some retaining their money, with half of Momo's bet allowance safe and secure. Bakugu simply grumbled to himself and pictured blowing up everyone's faces off in his head to cope. Michelangelo. Multiversal counterpart. Denki Kaminari. Ha! Kyuka said. Knew it. Yeah, keep your yen. I take it as a compliment to be the most athletic and capable of the turtles. Kaminari bragged. But not the smartest. Eraserhead said. Laughs occurred once more. Aizawa. You too. Kaminari yelled out in despair, much to his teacher's amusement. Donatello. Multiversal counterpart. Tenya Ida. Wow. Nice one Ida, we found one of yours. Izuku praised. I feel honored that a version of myself from another universe is the brains behind this hero team. Ida said proudly. His arms like malfunctioning robot arms. Meanwhile, Zero was ponying up his money to Kirishima and Sato to Koda. Leonardo. Multiversal counterpart. Izuku Midoriya. Wow Deku. Uraraka cheered. Way to go. You are the leader of that group and we found a counterpart to you. I'm quite surprised that you guys didn't bet more money on that. Momo said. It seemed quite obvious, especially more so when they said that Raphael challenges Leonardo a lot. Wow! Eri said with wonder in her eyes. You look so cool and fun, Papa. If weren't for the quick and valiant acts of Recovery Girl and Kaminari's electricity, then most of the watching group would have suffered from clenched hearts full of adorableness and minds refusing to take air from either shock or similar thoughts of my life is complete. I can die a happy man hearing that. After all the bets were in on who would in, and their hearts started beating properly, they continued the video and began the fight. The video began with tall skyscrapers being shown, the camera zooming to a manhole that leads to the sewer. Inside the sewer, the students see Leo, Raph, Dawn and Mikey facing each other. They drew their weapons and readied themselves to fight to the death. Fight. Leonardo made the first move and attacks Michelangelo, while Raphael and Donatello face off. Mikey flips back and both him and Leo are now trading blows. Mikey, thanks to being the shortest and lightest of the turtles, was quick enough to easily dodge Leo's attacks with graceful agility while he hits back. Looks like Mickey's using that agility to his advantage. Momo said. Yeah. Kaminari cheered. Go non-real, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle me. Dance and flip Midoriya to death. I mean, no offense Midoriya. It's alright, Izuku said in reply. Raph tries to hit Don, but every attempt led to a bow staff to the head thanks to Donnie's superior range. Raph was forced to go on the defensive. Seems like this fight is a poor matchup for Raphael, Jiro said. Raph is mostly a close-range fighter and Donatello's staff gives him wider range. Come on, mutated turtle bastard of myself, Bakuga screamed/cheered. Kill the cheap son of bitch. Wouldn't that be your mother too? Zero asked jokingly, much to Bakuga's comical tick mark of annoyance and being caught wrong. Leo flips backwards a good distance until Michelangelo catches the blue turtle off guard and lands a couple of hits. Leo counters with a stab, flips over the orange turtle and cuts his arm off. Michelangelo exclaims in pain, while Leo ends his life with a decapitation. Mikey's headless body collapses to the ground, the results of which led to audible gulps of held-down vomit from a lot of the students, flinches and grimaces from the adults, the kids being blocked to the sight, and Kaminari fainting in shocked horror at seeing himself, even if it was simulated, die. Raph and Don are still fighting, Raph still unable to land a hit on Donatello. Leo continues watching on as the fight between the two turtles continued. Hey, that seems rather unmanly to just watch do nothing, Tetsutetsu yelled out. Actually bro, I think it's just that Midobro's turtle self is letting Bakubro's and Idabro's fight continue to let them settle it like men. Kirishima explained. Oh, Tetsutetsu said. Manly. The rest to the audience watched the scene between the similar quirk teens with sweat drops and deadpan expressions. Yayarozo, translation please? Okoyami asked. I think they believe that Leonardo not attacking is noble in letting Raphael and Donatello finish their fight. But what I think is that Leonardo's letting the two tore each other out so that he can have an easier chance of victory. Momo deduced. Not manly. Kirishima and Tetsutetsu yelled as they heard. It seems like a viable strategy, especially for someone who is known to be a strategist and tactician, Izuku said. It's easier to let your enemies fight each other and tire themselves out. Manly. Kirishima and Tetsutetsu switched out again, much to more sweat drop and deadpan expressions. Don was landed several heavy hits on Raphael, then turning his staff into a spinning discus on his hand that he then uses to smack Raph at a rapid rate. Raph tried to attack from above, but Don caught him and threw him across the sewer, landing unconscious by the floor. Is he out? Mina said. He seems unconscious for the moment, Ida said. An opportunity for Leonardo to attack. Leo now faced against Donnie while the red turtle was out, for the moment. Leo and Don traded blows until Leonardo misses and gets his sword stuck in a crate. Donatello takes the higher ground on the stack of crates to his advantage, and begins hitting Leo on the head. The camera focuses on Raph who is still out cold, until Raph's eyes open with pure rage burning out. Oh, Uraraka said nervously. Raph's temper just broke. In a fit of rage, he charges at full speed, shattering and scattering the crates he rammed into. Leo is knocked away and Don hits the ground hard, knocking him out. Raph jumps onto the unconscious purple turtle and begins stabbing Donatello. Raph begins stabbing harder and faster. Blood was spilled everywhere. He was attacking like a wild animal. Holy crap! Mineta screeched out. He looks almost like Bakugu when he attacked Midoriya at our first battle training. He look insane. Bakugu and Izuku flinched at the memory of that, with the two having flashes of memories of Bakuga's similar treatment of Izuku, at least with less stabbing and bloodiness. Raph finally stopped, the only remains of Donatello being a bloody, gooey mess. Results: lunches forcibly launched into Yamamo-issued paper bags, herself included, children's and Koda's eyes secured shut, and Ida bowing his head in respect to his simulated counterpart's demise. His face neutral but his head being flooded with memories of Tensei's injuries from Stain and wondering if something close to this happened to his brother. Even Bakugu flinched at the sight of the results, looking at his hands and wondering if that could have easily been himself doing it to Deku in a fit of blind rage. He gritted his teeth as he wondered if he already did something like that in their past, and mentally screamed at himself. Raph and Leo are staring daggers as the final fight begins at this moment. Both charge and appear evenly matched in terms of strength and skill. Raph lands a lucky hit and sends Leo into the water. Leo slowly resurfaces as Raph jumps in. They again trade blows until Raphael catches Leonardo's swords with his sai. The two clashed and pushed against each other. The tension of the music rises. Both the two brothers are locked in a struggle as they try to overpower each other. "I'm shaking with nervousness," Mina exclaimed. "Come on, Midori. Win." "I agree with you, Mina. But Bakuga's sai are said to break swords," Ida said. "Even if Midoriya can strike, it would have to be precise and quick." A moment later, both turtles stab each other at the same time. Raph stabbed Leo in non-fatal spot. Leo, however, with what remained of one of his swords, stabbed Raph in the throat. "Damn!" Raph and Bakuga screamed out, one in bloody pain and the other in losing the bet, to Deku no less. Raph slowly falls into the water with a loud splash. The water starts turning red, with that as the end of Red Ninja Turtle. Leo slumps over with a piece of the sai still in his side. Leo, a grim, sad expression on his face for the deaths of his brothers, won the fight, but felt like he lost the war. Kaidato. Respectful claps rang, the mood too somber to cheer, but they still clapped for Leo's half-hearted victory. Izuku was glad he won but understood how painful it must be for his other self to kill his own family. "Wahoo-hoo. Somebody call an ambulance. Or a vet, I don't know," Boomstick said. "Oh, too soon, Boomstick," the now conscious Kaminari said. "Too soon. For once, I agree with you, jamming yay," Hyuka said. "There is a reason why Leonardo is the leader of the team. Not for strength, which would be Raph, or speed and athleticism, that's Mickey, but for strategy. Leonardo understands the strengths and weakness of the other turtles. His biggest threat was Raphael's sword-snapping sai, so he attacked the weakest of the group first," Wiz explained. "Oftentimes, that's what separates the leader from all the rest," Momo said. "Without the strategy to lead others and use their skills properly to situation at hand, they would crumble and fail. I would follow your lead any day, Momo," Izuku said suddenly. Momo burst in a mumbling, near catatonic state of blushing, even more so when people started agreeing with the green bean. This means Leo let Donnie beat the hell out of Raph, who couldn't compete with Don's range. By the time Raph got his revenge, Leo was in way better shape for the final duel, Boomstick said. "A sound strategy," Nizu said. "Especially impressive being that it was on the fly, quick thinking. And I can hear all the fanboys raging, imitating an arrogant, misunderstanding, whining fanboy. But Raph won in the movie. He should win here. Naya Naya." "No," was said. "While I do not know what he means by movie, I do admit that's a pretty good expression of whining fanboys," Snipe said. "God knows that they are a headache for us pros." "Amen to that," Fat Gum replied. 4 reasons. 1. The result of the fight was specifically plot constructive, which is rarely accurate. 2. Leonardo absolutely decimated Raph in the fist fight beforehand. 3. Leonardo didn't want to fight at all. If he did, he would have killed Raph right here, was said. So, if they are still Midoriya and Bakugo in that movie, does that mean that Midobro absolutely decimated Bakubro? Kirishima teased. "DEKU. Bakugo screeched out. "Let's fist fight right now with no quirks and let's see who is better. Sit down, Bakugo now," Aizawa yelled out, his eyes glowing red and hair sticking up for emphasis. And 4. That whole movie made no sense to begin with. "Why should this?" was said. I know this box only has death battle video for all we know," Izuku stuttered, still a little shaken up from Bakugo's attempted impromptu declaration. "But do we actually have that movie in there? I would love to see it." The students nodded at that, and the teachers decided to see if the device did have any additional videos after all this. "But hey, Leo can still die from that stab, right?" Boomstick asked. Doubtful for several reasons. Turtles proportionally have smaller vital organs and far more muscle mass than humans, meaning there's little chance Raphael actually hit anything important. Leo's actually been stabbed plenty of times in the series and walked away. And all 4 turtles have been trained in Qigong and can control their breathing and heart rate to survive extreme conditions. Wiz explained. That makes sense, Setsuna said with a grumpy frown, not happy to see the reptiles kill each other. Raphael's sigh may not have punctured anything vital for Leonardo, but a blade to the throat for any poor soul or creature is quite fatal. Bara said. Looks like Leo got to the point of this battle. Boomstick joked. The winner is Leonardo. Wiz stated. Another round of claps occurred. Man, this death battle was cool, but also the more deadly. Otto said. Agreed, Oji said. Though it isn't surprising given the weaponry. The last death battles, except for the first, were fought mainly hand-to-hand, while this one used blades. Next time on Death Battle, Leo may taste victory now, but the fight is just beginning, Boomstick said, as Leo was shown once again. His opponent was revealed to be an humanoid-looking frog or toad. Wait, Leo's fighting again, Koda said. Sheesh, even in a simulated death battle, you can't catch a break, Deku. Mirio said. I am curious about his opponent, Chu said. I feel torn already. How come? Nijire asked. Well, I like frogs and even toads, obviously given my quirk and looks. But then there is Midoriya, and I don't want to bet against the cute cinnamon roll, Shui said bluntly. Izuku became a stuttering, blushing mess while the girls gave dark glares of jealousy towards the frog quirk girl. Come on, come on, Eri yelled out excited. I want to see Papa Deku fight and beat the Toad Man. Compelled by Eri's adorableness, more strongly than even Shinso's brainwashing quirk, they continued to the next video.